Do you want to have a rant about referees before we start?
No.
You sure?
Not at all.
Okay. What do you think about the chairman and being brought to book over his comments?
Well, I think we're a little bit surprised by it. We didn't think what the chairman said warranted an FA charge, but I think the FA get a little bit sensitive about certain words, and maybe they felt that there was an intimation that the chairman was saying something about the integrity of the referees. That wasn't my interpretation of it, but I'm sure the chairman will have a view on it. I don't think he's answered the charge yet. I think he's got some Monday before he has to, so I'm sure he's thinking about the right course of action for him and for us.
Is it a little bit galling when somebody, a manager has come out and called one of your players a cheat and nothing happens, and then...
Well, there seems to be a more sensitivity to some words like bias or whatever, rather than the word cheat, as you mentioned. So it's what the FA deems to be acceptable or not. So it's a little bit difficult to understand where they're coming from sometimes, but I suppose they're trying to be consistent at all levels, and if they hear certain words being used, then maybe they feel that they have to do something about it. But my interpretation of what the chairman said wasn't in any way questioning the integrity of referees. That wasn't the intention, but maybe that's what needs to be clarified.
Do you think possibly as well that the chairman might thought you'd be exempt from any being brought to justice like this, and from now on we have to watch the kit down and everybody what they say, and because you could be brought to book?
No. I don't. The chairman will always speak on a regular basis to give his views on his club and how we're doing, and rightly so. He should always have that option, and they're usually honest views, and like I said, that's why we were just taken aback somewhat, but we'll see how it pans out.
How's your relationship with him? Your previous incumbent was always going on about, what a great relationship he got with the chairman. How do you and he get on?
Yeah, I've got a great relationship with him. I like to hope so. Yeah, he's a very knowledgeable football man. He's been involved in football for a long time at a lot of levels, and he understands the ups and downs of the game. Doesn't get too carried away when we're doing well, because he understands that on any given Saturday that can change and you can get beaten. So he understands the up and downs of football, and he's quite prepared to accept that as long as he knows that his club's in good hands. And I like to think he feels Mark Wilson, Phil Barsley and Peters not able to join up because of the injuries that they had in the Spurs game. The hope is that 2 out of 3 will be okay. Mark Wilson is the big doubt. Likelihood is that he's going to miss out, but the other 2 we're very hopeful on, and expect them to come through. Glenn Whelan as well should be an option. He's trained all week and done remarkably well to come back from a fracture in his leg. So we give it a good shot. Tried to get fit for the Irish game, wasn't possible, but he's benefited from a full week of training with the lads that were left behind, and he's looked okay. So he's needed us, we think, to being back where he was before the injury.
You're probably one of these that didn't want the break, given the result against Spurs. I mean, you could have just gone into the next game 2 days later.
Well, we started to gain a little bit of momentum. I thought our performance against West Ham was really, really good, and we probably exceeded that against Spurs because we won the game away from home as well. So the last 2 outings that we've had, we've been really encouraged by. So I take your point. I think ideally we would have liked to have played Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, or whatever. But that wasn't the case. As we know, at the beginning of the season has been quite fragmented because of the amount of international breaks that there have been. I think we're all very happy as club managers that all those international breaks are behind us now for any number of months until the new year, and I think everybody will benefit from that, because it's been difficult to gain that momentum and that consistency that you want to see in your play because of the breaks.
One person probably wanted Bojan. I mean, getting his first goal. I mean, he would definitely want to keep that momentum, wouldn't he? But are you confident that he will go into the next game back up there?
Yeah, he's one of a number who are in a good place at the moment, playing well and in a good vein of form. We had to be patient with Bojan, but he's an exceptionally gifted football player, and we were really pleased that he's starting to perform now. We always felt he would, but we always felt it might take him a little bit of time, which it has. But his last three outings, if you count his performance against Southampton in the Capital One Cup, which really convinced me that he was ready to come back into the team, because I thought he was at a better level than he was when he went out with the team earlier in the season. So his form at the moment is good, along with many others. So we want it to continue. We want that momentum in terms of the levels we're hitting, and if we do that, then we'll be fine. We just need to sustain it from now to the end of the season if we can. Not easy, because we've got difficult games coming up, but that's the hope and that's the goal.
Now, if you wanted to play your next game a couple of days later, I mean, one man it was Sean Dyche, wasn't it? I mean, you get your first win, boom, you've got to wait for 2 weeks. That must be horrible for him.
Yeah, but I think it's always important when there's an international break that if you can get a win before the break happens, it's that's what you aim for, that's what you hope for, because going into an international break of 10-12 days on the back of a defeat is tough, and it's not easy to take, because really you want to get the whole group back in and address any issues that the previous game has highlighted. So obviously they've had to wait a long time, probably longer than they'd hoped for their first win, so they'll be buoyed by that. But they know coming to Stoke will be a difficult fixture for them. But confidence is a huge thing in the Premier League, and if you can raise your confidence level going into games, that's going to help your performance, obviously. But we're in confident mood ourselves, so we're not of the view that we're not in a bad place. We're really looking forward to the fixture. We've let ourselves down somewhat in previous games where we've had good performance, good results. Man City away springs to mind, when we had a great performance, great result, and the very next game we get beat at home. So we've had the scars somewhat of that before, so we don't want that to happen again. So we've got another opportunity, first opportunity to really put to bed back wins with that opportunity before, and haven't taken them. So on this occasion we need to take them.
Every year we get a team like Burnley, they get promoted on a shoestring budget, and statistics say you should beat them. They'll probably go down, they'll give it a good go, but I'm guessing that's not what you should allow to go through your mind when you're picking a team tomorrow to play them.
No, I think the emphasis this week, once everybody was back, was that arguably this is our most important game in terms of the impact that it can have on our season up to this point. We're in a good place, we're playing well, we've just had a great win away from home. That's a difficult place to go to get any positive results, and now we have an opportunity to really kick on and shape our season, hopefully, and enable us to remain in the top half from now to the end of the season, which is our aim. So it's a real opportunity. So in terms of importance to our season and where it takes us, then this is a huge game for us, arguably our biggest game this year.
Cheers, mate.
Okay. You got any history, any relationship with Sean Dyche in the past?
I'm not sure. I may well have played against him. I'm not too sure, actually. I'll have to look. I might
That's
have played.
fine, you're not golfing buddies or anything
No,
like
no,
that,
no.
then?
No, not at all.
What do you make of the job he's done there, getting them promoted last season, and albeit bottom of the Premier League at the moment, what the job they've done in the Premier League?
No, I think everybody was hugely impressed by what he did last year. I think it took everybody by surprise in terms of being able to galvanise the group that he had and bring them right through and take them on merit and get one of the places in the Premier League. It was a huge effort by everybody concerned, and rightly Sean got the plaudits that he deserved. More difficult in the Premier League, I think he understood that, and his players understood that, but it's still early days. They'll be encouraged by the positive result against Hull and hope that's the kickstart that they need to get more points on the board. But it is very difficult in the Premier League, certainly when you're a promoted side, and it's not easy, but getting points on the board with your first win is huge, and they've been able to do that, so you would imagine that they'll start to pick up points in games that they have ahead of them, because they're increasing their experience of the Premier League as they go along. But we're very hopeful that that won't be tomorrow. Hold up.
Are you joking?
Yeah, he wants going out with it.